also the place where you can rent excavator equipment. Like you can rent
around
to
with
drive around like
Yeah.
bobcats and shit and like bulldozers.
Weed there is fucking
And
outrageously expensive.
Is it?
Same with both of the places we're going on the East Coast. 1 gram cartridges are $95.
What? This takes some to sell.
I know, that's what I was
I'm about to
like,
stock up.
shit.
I'm about to get like a half dozen of those and sell them as merch.
Maybe I'll talk to, I think it's Janik went to Portland and said their delivery services are really cool, but their prices are up there, man. Everything I saw that was 65 was 0.5. And I was like, shit, fuck that, man. $95 for a cartridge. And they're the bad cartridges, too. They're not even, like, nice ones. They're, like, the ones people make themselves.
Oh, no. That's booty.
Yeah, I was looking at them. And in Boston, everything's really expensive, and it's, like, 2.5, 3 hour waits to get this stuff. But
So, bring your own weed.
yeah, but I think in Portland, though, I'll bet you we can have a medical guy order it for us and get it cheaper. Somebody that gets medical marijuana there, order it and just let us order it after the show. Because a lot of the medical places I looked at, they were like, can't be home? Don't worry. We'll bring it to wherever you at and meet you.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, I'm just trying to sell some weed so we can have somebody come to the venue maybe and buy us weed. So that's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have it delivered to us.
Yeah. It's so expensive.
Can we go there first?
It's crazy, dude. We go there third.
Well, I mean, we're driving, so I'm going to have carts with me.
Oh, me too. I have a new full cart of cherry pie.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to get, Rick showed me this in Eugene. That digital fucking nectar collector thing he had was the bomb. I want to get one of those.
I almost bought you one of those for Christmas, but I thought you had one.
No, I want one real
I almost
bad.
bought you a wood one because the thing was it was wood.
Yeah.
And you can put it right back in your pocket after you hit it. That was like the big thing about it. And I read reviews, and there were really good reviews. It was only like $35. And I was like, gonna buy it for you. And then my wife...
Find me that link.
Is horrendous. It's at the Joint. I'll try to find it for you. I don't remember what it was called. My wife is horrible because, like, I told you what I wanted to buy you for Christmas, and she nixed it. I wanted to buy for you and Erica for Christmas. I wanted to set you up with all the stuff to grow shrooms.
Oh, right.
I was gonna put it all in the big thing and just put it in there and wrap it as a present. And she was like, "You can't give people drugs for presents." And I'm like, dude, they would fucking love that. And she was like, no, they wouldn't. They would think it was weird. And I'm like, you're fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, don't
I've
make
tried to
up
give
shit.
people drugs forever, and she's always like, no. And I'm like, everybody wants drugs. Like, it's the best present you can fucking get. And the only reason Brett's not... I told her the only reason you're not growing mushrooms because you don't want to order the shit. Like, you don't want to get all the shit together and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I figure. That's why I'm not growing them. I just don't feel like ordering a bunch of shit. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I could. I just don't want to get caught with them.
Well, that's probably why it's good that I didn't.
With a kid.
But I mean, you could have them down here, and I don't think...
No, I've wanted them forever, and it's affordable, and I could do it.
And it just looks like a fucking... it doesn't look like anything.
No, I know.
I mean,
and
if
I
you get caught with what
haven't...
you have, you're in trouble. I mean, the shrooms aren't going to add... I mean, the shrooms aren't going to add more risk.
Well, I would start selling them if I was growing them.
They're not going to add more risk, is what I'm saying. Like, the amount of risk doesn't increase with shrooms because they don't even smell as much as weed does.
Oh, right.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I would be fine. Yeah, I guess really that is the only thing I've been most nervous about is just that I'm like, they have to know and find out who can buy shit, you know.
God, it just feels like they're not that
But
illegal.
they aren't. No. I mean, people grow. I mean, I wouldn't get come from campus houses where people just grow them in closets.
I talked to a guy when I was lifting that grew them. And he was just like, you know, because all it is my butt Hoaxy. You met Hoaxy.
Yeah.
He grows them, and it's just a big Tupperware with a lid on it. There's like, it doesn't smell like anything, and it just sits there, a big Tupperware.
You gotta get your like vermiculite and perlite.
I had it all ordered, dude. I had the whole thing ordered, and I was about to hit order, and I was like, I better ask Katie. And she was like,
no, my wife would be totally into it.
I know she would. I said she would. She was like, you just can't give people drugs. And I'm like, yeah, you can. Like, they love them. It's like a really good gift.
She's an eraser head. Like, she wants it to be like her religion. She thinks that she should do it like 4 times a year, like as the season changes. She wants to have like a ceremony where she like meditates on it. That's seriously what she told me before.
Yeah, and she's like the most normal person. Oh, Erica?
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie is just like such a normal person that hangs out with such fucking weirdos that like, it just, stuff like that is just, she gets so nervous about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, dude. You don't. Nobody hangs out with the type of people you fucking hang out with, dude. We're not like normal people. She hangs out with like. I know it doesn't seem like it because we're all idiots, but it's like a lot of artists and shit like that. You know what I mean? Comedians and stuff. We don't live like normal fucking lives.
Yeah, we aren't regulars.
Yeah, we're not like the people she works with, you know?
All right, you ready to get this motherfucking show started?
I'm in a good mood now. I got some funny stuff to talk about. You ready?
Yeah.
Tell me when to play the song.
Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Huh?
You ready?
Bowling.
I'm going. I'm playing it. Oh, cool. Hold on.
All right, one more time. Got to do the little...
One more time. This don't rhyme. Jason.
Back it up. Chop and screw it.
Why was I... Tell me if you can hear this. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it. Can you hear it?
Nope.
Oh,
sure can.
Hold on. I got to plug my headphones in. So it doesn't play out over the thing. I want ya. I need my cherry pie.
I want to get...
Here it goes.
Secret. Hey, what's up? Street Fight Radio. It's live Wednesday night. Time for a street fight. It's like 10 o'clock. What time is it right now?
10:26.
10:30. Yeah, a little bit early. So
Brian's sick again.
Brian, round 3 for you?
2.
Round 2. My daughter entered her round 3 of sickness this week.
I feel like I got it from her. But
15 kids in her class were out.
Yeah.
It was like an epidemic. But this is Street Fight Radio, #1 anarcho comedy radio show on any station across the nation. Coming out of Columbus, Ohio. Not coming out of you.
Unless you're a fucking antenna.
Yeah, maybe. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quimby. You can find us doing the live show every single week, Wednesday nights, 10 or 11 p.m. And then every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're taking your calls, answering your questions, listening to your stories, and spreading this mess across the U.S. We appreciate everybody that shows up each week to support us. We got, well, shit, what happened? Nick Hayes, we got the Means TV himself, the guy you've been reading about in all the big magazines that all the smart people are talking about. He's cut his teeth and left his media on street fight tours, right? You talked to him on the third show?
Right, yeah. It's fun. I mean, if you really...
It's weird. 19-year-old.
Yeah, there's only one person. There are a few people, our wives, now Jason, that have as much of a knowledge of what this thing is than Nick. You know what I mean? Like, so we talked a little bit about what it's like to work with me and you and shit like that. Especially at that time, like, he was working with us at a time where we were fucking grinding like hell, man. Some of those shows were... very small. And actually, no, not really. Not a lot of them.
No, he came off for some great shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. And what else is going on? We're going to be doing a live show in April. We're going to be in the Northeast area. We'll be in Philly on April 3rd. We'll be in New York City at Littlefield Saturday night, April 6th. It's going to be a street fight, Royal Rumble, podcast, showdown. We're going to have the Master of Struggles, Leslie Lee. We're going to have the Fabulous Chapos. We're going to have some special guest invites. We're going to have we're going to settle this thing once and for all. Best podcaster in New York City on that night, and it'll be fun. Get ready for a street fight. We're going to do the WrestleSplania show on Sunday in Queens, New York at the Queens Brewery. We're going to be doing commentary, hanging out, watching WrestleMania, so come do that. If you are not here, if you're not available to get tickets, to get WrestleMania, We're going to be in, I don't know the rest of the dates, so I have
So in Philadelphia, we're going to be, I know them all.
I said
actually,
Philly.
What's it? Philadelphia is the 3rd of April. New York is the 6th of April. New York with WrestleSplania is the 7th of April. April 9th in Portland, Maine, at a place with a crazy name, Afodian.
The Afodian Theater.
And then, of course, April 11th in Boston, the place that everybody tells us not to play, but we're fucking doing it.
This is Boston, not L.A.
We're going to do hardcore. We're going to talk a lot more about hardcore. You know, basically the whole set in Boston is going to be about hardcore.
And I'm going to rewrite The Departed a little bit to my liking.
Yeah, Departed. Hey, it's The Departed. Yeah. Hey, we're over here talking about hardcore.
I'm so departed right now.
I'm going to go ahead and beat somebody up for doing drugs at the Center Street Fight show in Boston.
Put a sack full of nickels in my fist. Beat him over the eye.
Dude, that show, so, like, very weird. I took an intro to gangs class in college. Like, it was a class about gang violence.
Right.
And it was dumb. It was by the way, at the Ohio State University. This is not a weird community college class or anything like that. And we watched so much Gangland in that class.
Really?
I was always watching Gangland.
So that is all it takes to get a college education in gangs is just watch that show?
Well, then at the end of fucking Gangland, she would be like, all this stuff's bullshit, though. Like, most of the stuff on Gangland is bullshit. So I think she was just like, I mean, what are we going to do here? We going to watch Colors? Is that what we're going to do? Like, what is this class really going to be?
Man, somebody talked their way into it. It's like someone that didn't know, didn't really do the project. They did the project the night before.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I thought it was neat. Like, I thought it was cool, though, the Boston one. There was like a Boston hardcore episode, straight edge gangs.
Like Prohibition, beating the shit out of people that were drunk and kicking them out of shows, stabbing them with bottles, street medics and shit.
Because that's a like really punk thing, because I hate those people. And
dude,
if you can get me to hate some, like I hate them. I remember, so we went to go see Korn in Dayton, Ohio at the Hera Arena, And we're standing in the audience and we're talking to people, and this guy comes up to us and he's really nice. He's dressed kind of like a raver, which automatically bought you cool points with me. Like, I automatically thought, like, what a cool fucking dude, He's got cool clothes on. He's clean. He's put together. He's got piercings,
Right.
And he told us he was a straight edge, and all of us. And he told us he was a straight edge, and we were all like, what's that mean, dude? And then, like, he told us he was a vegan, and we all freaked out because we never heard of one before.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't use fucking toothpaste.
Right.
And I was like, what? That's fucking nuts. How you brush your teeth? He's like, cruelty-free, baby. I'm like, oh, that's kind of... I mean, full disclosure, I probably called it gay. But at the time, I just remember hearing this guy talk about straight edge and just being fucking completely, like, mind blown. Yeah. And when I left, hated his guts. I just hated him because I love drugs.
When I went to, after high school, I went to DeVry for, like, a short period of time. And there was a guy that I hung out with that was super into hardcore. And he had these, like, underground DVDs of shows and concerts and stuff. And there would be guys that were, like, getting in fights. And there would be, like, they would get sewed up, like, in someone's living room. There would be, like, a surgery on DVD. And guys that had tattoos that said, like, bring back Prohibition.
Yeah.
And they had, like, an eagle smashing a bottle and shit. Like,
I mean, it's cool.
It is. It's intense.
It's a
little intense, I think.
In hindsight,
it's too much.
Right. It is, like, definitely. But in hindsight now, I'm like, I know what they were doing, and I don't agree with their mission or any of that shit, but it's fucking cool, though. It's cool because they made people that, it's kind of like what we do at times, or what our people on the internet do. It's like we go and offend people who say they can never be offended. And that's what the straight edge guys did. They offended people who could never be offended, who said, I could never fucking be offended. You know what I mean? Nobody could ever offend
I'm an
me.
Outlaw. I live in this crazy lifestyle. I'm a punk,
Yeah. And then they came in.
Fucking hardcore.
They came in and they're like, we're going to fucking beat you up for doing drugs. Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they smoke cigarettes?
I don't think that was allowed, but I don't really know, to be honest.
Wild, man. Sounds so
everybody
boring,
has
though.
their own. I mean, it's intense. You're just living like completely sober, man. Every moment you're just taking life in, like the full fucking thing. You're not like putting on any sort of film on it.
Right. Well, I think like even to the point.
It seems miserable though. I mean, they seem so mad and angry about it. You know, like the sobriety is driving them nuts.
Yeah. Just furious, man.
And not the best salesmen for it.
We got our headphones in and everything. We're talking a little bit about drugs. Let's listen to a little bit of audio. How's that sound to Brett Payne?
Sure. You got video too?
I don't have video.
Okay.
Well, I do have video, but we don't need it because here we go. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm listening.
They're actually fentanyl heroin.
Oh, okay.
Our kids are having parties, and they call them Skittles
really?
parties, where they bring pills
I remember
and put them
these.
into bowls.
Okay.
And everybody just kind of picks whatever pill they want and they take them. I mean, it's kind of a shocking thing when I heard about this.
That's called
just randomly taking pills. And some of these children, unbeknownst to them, are taking a Xanax that's actually a contraband Xanax. And they're dying.
Okay.
Oh, cool. I love it.
Chance to save their life. They don't make it to
What
the
is a
hospital.
contraband Xanax?
It was one mistake,
like the
one
illegal
time,
pressing.
and their lives are lost.
So
They're
basically,
actually
she
fentanyl
said,
heroin.
First of all, she called it fentanyl heroin, which is very weird. But she's claiming that we're having Skittles party. I got this audio from Aaron Rupar, A.T. Rupar on Twitter. Posted these this week, and so this is the first one I wanted to get out there. It's basically Sarah Carter, Fox News contributor, explaining to parents what their kids are doing out there, Brett. Hey, you let your kids go out to a party?
Yeah.
You let your kids go to a dance? Do you wonder what they're doing when they go to that dance? It's called a Skittles party, my friend. And they're eating contraband Xanax.
Yeah, I mean, she would know, right? I mean, she's young and hip. She talks to a lot of teens, right?
Yeah.
That's where she learned all this from.
Well,
this is tangentially related to a rainbow party as well.
Rainbow Party was BJ's, right? Yes.
Different colored lipsticks, sucking on ding dongs. Also, rainbow party can also be with the bandanas of different color to show your sexual preferences.
It's extremely a lie that's never happened.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
just
history of
something
the world.
a parent made up, and other parents were like, I could see that happening,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I think, like, I hate to even blame... I blame the parents for being kind of dumb. You know what I mean? And believing it. Because they're being told something, and they believe that it's been told. I have this theory about boomer parents now, and even my parents, is that... Or like, parents even my age. Like, I think your age... You're 5 years younger than me. And people under that might be a little more with it. But I think even people my age believe that if it comes off of a screen, then it's true.
Yeah. There's probably some people your age that got scared of Momo.
Yeah.
That took away their kid's iPad for 1 week, you know?
I know for a fact there were people scared of Momo. I actually got to spend... a little bit of time the other night. I came home and my wife was like scrolling through her phone, and I think mine was dead or something. I was just annoying. I was like, I'm gonna annoy my wife, and I'll like climb all over her and stuff like that in bed and shit. Not sexually, just just grabbing her and stuff like that. Don't fucking freak out, everybody. And I got to look at her Facebook timeline for a while. And Brent, I'm going to tell you something. It's a lot different than ours. I can just...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to look at like what the normal people were posting. And I mean, it's 90%. Hey, y'all remember this cartoon?
Sure.
Or like people making fancy looking cakes.
Or like sharing songs you've heard a million times before.
I once saw a guy share Enter Sandman on Facebook, and he shared Enter Sandman, and then whoop, there it is, and then something else, and it was the most, I don't know why, I've seen a lot of crazy shit on Facebook, but a person that had the desire to share Enter Sandman was the most shocking thing I ever saw on Facebook.
Pretty surprising.
Like, you can stick your head out the window any time of the day and hear Enter Sandman. It's fucking playing all the time somewhere.
I don't know who's missed out on it at this point.
I know.
I think everybody knows they can get it on wherever they're at, you know?
I mean, the thing is, you could turn on a radio and hear it.
Yeah.
You could play the radio for an hour, and you'll probably hear Enter Sandman if you're on a rock station.
Yeah, if you go to the hard rock station, right.
So yeah, Skittles parties, Brett. What do you think? I mean, I think the parents in my neighborhood might believe it, and we had conversations like this on the call-in show, I believe, where I talked about 13 Reasons Why. My daughter was like coming up when 13 Reasons Why came out, and parents, I got a note from school that said kids are killing themselves because they're watching this TV show about a girl that committed suicide. So, like, I do think that part of it's there. I think that most of this, though, is and I'm going to sound like a conspiracy guy right now, you know?
Okay. I'm excited.
Definitely going to sound, but I really think that the DEA floats this shit out there. Like, I don't think they officially say it, but I think that they float it to other people, and it gets to the police departments, and once it gets to the police departments, it gets sent out among the parents. And I really think it's a DEA thing, because this shit is not true. You couldn't find a case of this happening.
Right.
I mean,
but you can't, yeah. This is the kind of stuff that the police make up to make themselves sound brave, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I would stop any Skittles party. I'm so brave. I'd steal all those kids' pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I've been, and the thing is, it's funny, because you'll see a lot of people share this stuff on Facebook that you did drugs with back in high school, and you're like, did that ever happen to you or me? Yeah. We were the people doing drugs.
Right.
You know? The way that I did drugs when I was in high school is the way that everybody does drugs when they're in high school.
Right.
You know, if you don't do drugs, you live a normal life, and if you do drugs, you just do them the way I did. It's basically like scrounging to get something that's going to get you high.
Trial and error.
Yeah. Maybe a dime. Like, it's scrounging to get $10 to buy a dime bag, and everybody share two joints.
Look, this is a suburban mom that's like, when the girls at bar class get their cramps every month, I can make a lot of money off those Xanax, and I don't want my kid down there taking them. You know?
Well, and
I feel like they're worried about their kids stealing their medicine cabinet filled with, you know, the good pills.
I also think just the idea that this is happening the way pills, the idea that they think this is happening the way there's such a crackdown on pills. Like, there aren't really pills out there. There's Xanax. I will say that, like, most people can probably stumble into some Xanax or Ativan, but there's not like a wide variety of pills that get you fucked up. There's probably like 5 different kinds,
right? That you want, that you focus on, right?
Or that anybody does. The drugs, it really is like Adderall, painkillers, and barbiturates. What else is there? Is there a different kind of pill out there? And like, all of those are relatively safe. I mean, I wouldn't say, I'm not saying kids need to go out and pop a bunch of these things.
Right.
But also, they're not going to die from taking 1 or 2 of these things, you know? And it's just scaring parents. I mean, I thought about this like a few years ago. About 5 or 6 years ago, when Gwen was, you know, before she was 10, before she was a teenager. And, you know, I would let her go ride her bike up and down the street. I would let her ride over to the school on the other side of the road and play by herself. But I said, man, I can't believe my parents, like, let me go all over the neighborhood. Like, I went pretty far, you know? We rode our bikes to the mall sometimes. We rode our bikes on busy streets. We rode our bikes, you know, to other parts of town. We walked the railroad tracks until we got like 10 miles away from home, like Stand By Me or some shit. And like, that's not like, I was just like, how can you trust your kid to do that? And now I do it. Like, I was actually having a conversation with her recently. I was driving up in a neighborhood that's it's probably about 5 miles away from my neighbor. And she's like, this is where I ride my bike when I'm out riding my bike. And I was like, shit, you ride it all the way up here and you're fine, you know?
Right.
Like, now that I'm here, I do think that if you do a good job with them when they're younger, they're okay. This shit is not going to happen, you know?
I mean, I just remember being young and having that barometer. And like we always said, like, even as bad kids, we thought we were the only good bad kid, right?
Yes.
We were the good. But that comes from... Everyone does have that inner barometer and isn't going to really push it as far as you fucking think they will.
Right. Like I said, you said that about when we go, like, we take hikes up mountains, and we took one hike up to, I'm sure we'll do some during the summer too together. And everybody that was with us, my wife, even me, to a certain extent, not too much, was worried that one of the kids was just going to run off the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
It's like, kids aren't that... How dumb would a kid have to be to run off the side of a fucking mountain?
Sure.
You know? And it really... And this is what the Skittles party thing is too, dude. It's, I don't trust... I can't control this person.
Right.
They're going to go out and kill themselves.
And immediately do the worst thing. Yeah, they're going to immediately... For some reason... Like, and this is what I think comes down to, which I said with Momo, which is... Okay, you're letting YouTube parent your kid then, because if your kid will follow anything they see on YouTube, you have a bad relationship with your kid, and I think this is the same thing. You don't know where your kid is at. You don't trust them. You don't have a fucking relationship with them. So all you can do is assume that they're going to make the worst possible decision because you don't know them.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. You're totally right.
If I knew my fucking kid did like go and test the boundaries every fucking time, sure, I would tighten the leash up when necessary.
Yeah.
But from the get, if you can have it set up where they aren't going to be extreme, and they will just set themselves, do things for themselves.
Gwen told me once when she was real little, like, and it's crazy because this sounds like a lie, I promise, but like she was kind of gonna go do something. I said, hey, don't do something, don't vandalize something, don't sneak out or something like that, don't run around after curfew. And she's like, it's not fair that you automatically assume that I'm going to do all the bad stuff that you did when you're a kid. And I'm like, you're right. And you win this one because that's true. Like, it isn't fair and a lot of the people that do that I don't think people that were good when they were younger worry about their kid going nuts out there. It's people who what they believe got away with stuff. I think there's a lot of people who become adults and they think that it's luck that they survived their teen years. And that's just like, it's not. It's that it's not that dangerous.
Right.
It's not like pure luck.
Right.
So I got one more little bit of audio here about drugs that I got from Gabby Miller on Twitter. It's 2_ Gabby Miller, which she's a journalist. And let's just play this real quick. Okay. We want to hear what Bill Bennett Dr. Bill Bennett has to say. You ready?
Yes.
But this move to legalize is obviously very popular here. I'm running against the grain, but I don't consult the polls on this. I consult the research and real life experience. There are more kids in treatment for marijuana than all other drugs combined.
100% agree with you.
It destroys or limits, hurts focus, attention, and memory. I mean, does this make sense? And can lead to psychosis. It's a dangerous drug.
Okay, first of all, he says something astoundingly stupid, and then that other guy is like 100%.
100%. Oh, I'm in now. Oh, yeah, let's go hard on this.
That's the #1 Fox News clip of all time.
Every time I leave the studio, some kid just got back from marijuana rehab.
You know, there's more. I don't believe that statistic, really. I will say that maybe that statistic is true.
Well,
but there's one thing about kids that go to rehab is that they're generally forced to go to rehab. And they're probably forced to go to rehab because they got caught smoking marijuana by their parents. And that's why they're at fucking rehab.
Sure.
You know? Again, weed is the only drug you can really catch your kid doing. The rest of them, it's like it would be astounding if you caught your kid doing coke or pills. Really. Because you would have to find them in their room. But with weed, they smell like it, they look high, they act goofy. There's just so many different, and you can drug test for weed. You can't drug test for most other pills, you know, and you can buy a drug test in a fucking store, which is like the craziest thing. Like, they shouldn't sell those in the stores. Why are they selling those?
Some people want to know.
For radio bits. They sell them so me and you can go get them and be like, whoa, that turned way a different color.
Yeah.
That plus sign's really bright. But, so... I mean, these grandpas are watching Fox News, and they're hearing a statistic like that without even thinking, and then parroting it back to somebody. And weed doesn't.
It's crazy. It's crazy just because the amount of people I know that use weed.
Yeah,
and even people now it's not even legal here, and parents at the school that are very fucking successful that drive Teslas and shit. High, 24/7. Like while they're in bed.
Yeah, I mean, people...
fucking your model citizens.
Yeah.
Plenty of them. And sorry, go ahead.
It's better than drinking.
It is.
And I think for a lot of people, it's less high impact than drinking, which is good because you don't want something. I mean, I don't want something that impacts my life like drinking does.
Sure.
It sucks, man. I like don't want to be taken. I want to go hang out with my friends. I want to have fun, but I don't want to be completely taken out the next day.
Yeah.
Like I can't do anything the next day. I feel like shit that night.
Right.
And
all that.
And it's just legal in so many places now that the pendulum has swung. And, I mean, props to, like, the generation that came after mine, that just were like, weed's not a big deal. Because mine still, like, get weirded out about weed.
Well, and I think also there's probably more people that are going to get help with it, too, as it becomes more available. Because it is like drinking. When it's made readily available, people will do it too much, and people will spend all their money on it, and people will ruin their lives on shit. It's just what you get when you allow people to do things. So I'm sure there has been some sort of increase in that, but I don't know. There's none of this. All the research that I'm reading on Instagram says it cures cancer. That's what I'm getting at.
I also think that like that's some of the stuff, like some of the people that are the spokespeople for it, maybe like, dude, we got like less of those, but that's not really like that anymore.
No, it's not. I mean,
it's like a respectable business.
It's been legalized for so long, and like we've been to the States, and it's absolutely evident that it doesn't cause any of the societal ills that people think it does.
It's evident that people want it, which is the actual most important thing. I think that like we get so tied up in like this doesn't cause any social ills, this doesn't fuck anything up, when really it's just like people want this. We just talked about Crackdown. The podcast Crackdown, Garth Mullins, I think was his name, and talked about like pharmaceutical grade heroin and stuff like that. And it's like, the fact is, like, I'm not going to quit doing drugs. It's not going to go away. There's people out there that are just going to do it, you know? And if you call it a disease, then fine. I guess I'm one of the people with the drugs disease, and I'm going to keep fucking doing it. Yeah. But I think drugs is a thing that is just another part of a lifestyle.
And prohibition isn't solving anything. Prohibition is creating all the fucking problems.
Yeah. So I had Brace on. A couple weeks ago. We talked about the brewery. The Anchor Brewery unionizing effort that he's involved in. And something was called to my attention.
Okay.
That I thought that maybe me and you could read. We took last week off because we were doing something else, and we didn't get to do this, but it's brought to my attention. It's kind of an evergreen thing. It is a Craigslist ad for a job working for Rogue Brewery.
Oh, yes. This was awesome.
So I think
Do you have this pulled up?
I do have it pulled up. And I think that the reason that we're talking about Rogue Brewery, the reason we're going to do this, is because it's pointed out in the thread that I got this from, that Anheuser-Busch and InBev, a lot of the people that work for that place are union labor.
Yeah.
And they have insurance, and they're paid very well. And I know in Columbus, Ohio, if you work, Anheuser-Busch is one of like 4 jobs everybody wants.
Sure.
You get a free case of beer at the end at the end of every week, which is crazy. I mean, but it's funny because like people are like, a free case of beer, man, that means I don't have to pay for beer for the whole weekend. But I'll bet every person that gets that free case of beer, finishes it on Friday, has to go buy another case of beer.
For sure. I mean,
it's
just extra.
Yeah, it's just extra beer. I've seen guys go through a case of beer. It's a wild thing to see, and it's crazy to look at the cans after they've done it in one night. Do you ever have you ever just looked at the trash can after somebody is on a particularly large beer drinking party? I think a lot of people that like really love booze moved on to the higher test beers because they didn't want to see the big trash can full of cans at the end of the night.
I totally don't want to drink I don't want to drink 12 beers. I'd rather just drink 2 or 3 of these like really potent beers.
Yeah, I knew a guy that drank Natty Light. Or no, Busch Light at the end of every week, and Natural Light in his garage. He would sit in his garage every day after work and at least do 12 of them. But most of the time, you know, I'll stop on the way home from work. I'll buy a 24. I'll sit in my garage. I'll smoke cigarettes. I'll listen to whatever's on the radio. You know, usually talk radio or maybe oldies music, and drink a whole fucking 24 pack of beer, dude. And it just, you know, part of me kind of admired it a little bit. He worked a real fucking job, dude. He worked his time. Right. He worked his fucking ass off. He's a roofer. He worked his fucking ass off. He wasn't like a big fat guy or anything like that. He was in decent shape. His skin was made out of leather. And at the end of his fucking day, up on a roof in the middle of the summer, if that's what made him feel good, fuck it. Yeah, then let them do it. So, anyway, this is for an IT manager.
Okay.
Now, I think the first thing we need to do before we read this thing is to see what the average pay is for an IT manager, right? In Portland, Oregon, is where this is. So, probably a lot, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent amount of money. The people that I know that do it got way nicer cars than me.
Everybody I know that's in IT is doing really well. $76,952 is an average base salary in Portland, Oregon. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah. So $76,952. That is average. That's not a high salary. Obviously, there's probably a lot of people making $100,000.
Sure.
My guess is.
Oh, I know there is. Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of people not making a lot. So let's read this. I need an IT manager. He needs an IT manager, Brett.
Okay.
A jack of all trades, which is that's a red light.
Yeah.
That's automatically something that's fucking...
There's alarms going off.
Yeah. That word...
No one can be that. That's a storybook thing. No one's ever the Jack or Jane of all trades.
Well, and if you're the fucking jack of all trades, that really is just let me walk all over you sort of thing, you know. Every IT person thinks they're the jack of all trades. It's just how you define trades. In our case, we define it very broadly. That is another... This is the worst ad this is already the worst job listing I've seen, okay? And he's like, hardware, software, phones, internet, printers, managing the website and its content point of sale servers and printers in the pubs, a little data entry and pulling records into the database, lots of reports from the server, growing the database, extending the use of the database, and lots of e-blasts.
Wow.
That took me a long time to read.
I don't think one person could do all of that.
It's not a one-person job.
No.
I mean, okay, listen. I can maybe do this if I'm making $100,000 a year.
You can make it work?
I mean, because if I'm making $100,000 a year, okay, let's just make it like my dream amount of money, right? If I'm making $200,000 a year, that's always my dream amount of money, $200,000, right?
Uh-huh.
I do all that stuff. I would make it work. I would work fucking 70 hours a week if I had to. 100, however many hours the week I have to work, I'm working it.
Okay.
Like for that kind of money, and
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, what is there a price for you where you would just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna chuck this podcast aside, my parenting aside, and I'm gonna I got this job, they're paying me this money, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna make this my life. Yeah. Especially if it's something you're into. What if let's do an example for you. Like, what if a weed company was willing to hire you to like run the weed stuff and you get to name shit, you get to cut the weed and stuff, you get to make the deals.
The jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. They're like, I'm gonna pay you. How much would they have to pay you for you to quit everything and just do that as your job?
I don't know.
You don't have a number?
I don't have a number.
I have $100,000. Is it like a number?
That's a good number.
Give me $100,000 a year. I'm doing it because I just feel like that's an amount of money that I could pay off all my student loans in 1 year and still have $40,000 left over.
I'm trying to think of an amount that could get Erica to quit too.
Yeah,
I don't know if she want to quit though.
$200,000 fucking dollars.
Oh yeah, that's insane.
$200,000.
That's too much money. I felt weird saying 200,000. That seems too presumptuous.
I think it's just an amount of money that could solve all my problems.
For sure. It'll make everything go away. You can go wherever you want. No one will stop you from doing anything. You never have to check your account ever again. You'll hire somebody else to do that.
You can put your fucking bills on auto pay.
Right.
If you're making $200,000 a year, you just throw those bills on fucking auto pay.
You can sign up for a Shudder account.
Yeah. Yeah. You can have Shudder. You can have I don't know. I can have all my wrestling services.
You have the Hallmark channel during Christmas.
Might even be able to jump on an airplane and go somewhere every now and then. You know? 200 grand. Okay. We're looking for a high energy person. I don't know who's looking for a low energy.
No, they never want, like, where's the low energy job?
That's for me. I'm the low energy guy.
They want low energy people. That's what they need.
Yeah.
They need less people that are fighting with each other.
By the way, I want to throw this in there too. This is in Portland, so my amount of money to be set is different than my amount of money to be set in Columbus, Ohio. Too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like $250,000 in Portland.
Got it.
In Columbus, you know, it's 200. Actually, Columbus, 150,000. I'd fuck quit for 150,000 if I have to live here. That's easy. That's fucking. You can live like fucking a king here on 150 grand a year. We're looking for a high energy person, a curious person, a resourceful person, a flexible person. You run the show alone. I don't like that.
Okay. So just me.
And I don't think it's alone, because then you read this, you're starting to think, like, I run the show alone? Like, this is all me? I get to make all the decisions? I decide when I work? I decide what I have to do? You know? You don't run it alone, because you ain't deciding when you work. You don't get to decide what you do or anything. You run. If any of the offices or 11 pubs need help, you need to help now. So you're on call, Brett.
All the time.
You're on call. Now, we need to do this.
For 11 fucking restaurants that have technical difficulties.
But all over the city, too. All over the fucking city.
Yikes.
Like, they're probably far away from each other, too, because these are just rogue pubs, right?
Right.
So there's probably, you might have to drive down to San Francisco. You might have to drive somewhere. It's probably, you have to fix these things immediately, We'll work your behind off. Yet this is not a $50,000 position.
Wow. Wow.
$25,000 less than the average amount in a city with the cost of living of Portland.
Don't get your hopes up.
Right.
No, we need somebody that'll do this for almost nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the hope is that it's 49,000.
Sure.
500.
Sure.
I don't think it is. Probably 45, you think? 45 to 40?
I don't know.
Because they're saying 50,000 for a reason. Right? They're saying 50,000 because it's close to 50,000, but not, like, it's not in keeping with the average amount of money. Because, like we said,
maybe it's in the 30s, you can work up to the 40s.
That's terrible. If it's in the 30s, I'm disgusted by this company. I'm just going to say $30,000 in Columbus, Ohio, $40,000 in Columbus, Ohio. All right, that's cool. But I was in Portland. Okay, yeah. I know what Portland costs.
Their weed's cheaper though.
Their weed is but that's not the only thing you have to buy.
Save a lot of money on weed.
Their rent is really expensive.
Oh, that's true.
So if you need that kind of money, please don't apply, as that'll waste a lot of time. You'll not convince us. So basically, they're like, who doesn't need money?
There's no way in hell that we would ever pay to have somebody be constantly available to run around to 11 stores and a home office.
Well, I think, and the other thing they're worried about, right, is that they're saying you're going to be on call, you're going to have to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're going to have to be available all the time. Right. They don't want you getting some idea in your head that you're going to get overtime or that you're going to get compensated for anything over 40 hours a week. Because I can see taking this job for $50K, for $45,000, I can see taking this job for $45,000 a year if it meant I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 or 8 to 6 or something like that, and I just feel passionate about beer. Like, I totally get the idea of somebody actually taking this job. I'm not, like, against people taking jobs like this. It's just it's disgusting, because this is an industry that people feel very passionate about this stuff, and also feel like they're doing the right thing. This is very small business tyrant shit, because these people they're being preyed on, basically. Right. I'm really passionate about beer and hops and shit. I'd love to I'd sweep the floors at Rogue Brewery if they could hire me. And then they're just paying you fucking nothing, and they have this like stupid ad. The Rogue Nation is always on the lookout for hardcore unemployables. We hire revolutionaries who possess an unwillingness to follow the status quo.
They're not going to put up with this bullshit.
Yeah, people that
the IT manager, I'm a rogue status.
Can you believe that? The way that they say we're like trying to hire revolutionaries.
Hardcore unemployables?
Yes, unemployed. So they would hire. They're trying to get me and Brett working for them.
Yeah, let me be the IT manager.
They don't pay enough.
Right. Not even. Yeah, I wouldn't even do it for that amount.
Oh, this sounds like hell here. Right here, Brett. We go to the front of the fight and stay there. We require humor, speed, creativity, dedication, and here's another red fire alarm, a thick skin.
Man, that's a lot of upgrades. That's got a lot of upgrades. That's going to cost you, right?
A thick skin means that they're going to like be mean to you.
Yeah, you got to. That's like you're going to have to pay $25,000 extra on the yearly amount, right?
Yeah.
To get thick skin.
I mean, if
the
you're going to
upgrade on
insult
the
me,
comedy, if it's going to be, I have to. What did it say? I had to be funny too, right?
Well, it says that you need to have a sense of humor, which that's the alarm for me, right? Is you need to have a sense of humor and you need to have a thick skin.
Yeah.
So
that means they play mean jokes where they're like, "I'm really fucking angry at you for not fixing the fax machine at store number 6."
Yeah, somebody will throw a
that's-
full can of beer at you when they get mad at you.
Like, that was a joke, man. I thought it'd be funny if you like thought I was really angry about it.
A thick skin is not something you should have to get a job. I have a thing.
Work should be a place for thin-skinned people. You shouldn't have to get any shit.
Like, what kind of shit are they doing there? That's such a fucking that's such a red light to me. That's such an alarm to me. When they say humor and a thick skin, because I'll tell you what else it is, dude. It's sexual harassment shit.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's gay jokes. It's things like that.
Yeah,
That's what it is. They're like using the N-word in jokes and stuff like that. That's just, I know that's what it is. Because that's what they all mean. You know, every guy that finds out I'm a comedian when I meet them, and then they say, "What kind of jokes do you do? Do you do like edgy stuff?" They're never asking me if I'm doing like anti-American jokes. There's a certain kind of joke they're asking me if I do, and it's always the same. You know, and that's what these guys are talking about. Did we say speed? Did we say thick skin? Expect mischief, mayhem, and chaos. Only those who are aggressive survive.
Wow, this is cutthroat.
All right, so we got a little list of things that let you know if you're rogue. I'd like you to answer these for me, Brett.
Okay.
Is Brett rogue? I don't know. Let's find out. Rogues work hard.
I do work hard.
I think you do, too.
I do.
You're a very hard worker. Rogues take risks.
Do take risks.
Yeah, you do that. Rogues are willing to shun titles and personal financial success in the pursuit of the greater good.
No. I'm worried. I got to get my own empire going here, and then I'll start moving to pieces.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm looking for a job, the question that I'm willing to shun financial success is like, that's a bad thing. That's not a positive. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll volunteer and shit. I'll do some Meals on Wheels or something.
But I'm here for money.
But yeah, if I'm going and like running around and being all of these different things, you got to pay me for that. Actually, I'm doing this for personal financial reasons only.
It's the only reason anybody goes to fucking work
here.
Yeah. Rogues pursue the long shot. I don't even know what that fucking means. That sounds like something they needed more things.
Right. Like, what's some epic shit to say, man? Like, gets people fired up. You always have these good sayings at meetings. They're like, I don't know, I'm just copying them off Instagram.
Rogues have respect for diversity. Brett, that is a Brett.
I do have respect
We are
for
all
diversity.
about diversity,
Yep.
okay?
You should see the movies I watch.
Yeah. I'm going to see Captain Marvel on opening night.
Wow.
So if you're, I'm a feminist
Holy
at
shit.
this point. Rogues are never satisfied to rest on past laurels. I am.
I am too.
Satisfied.
I always like to think about. I always remind myself like you did some good shit before.
You ever like remind yourself like the first time I did a show in New York, I sold it out and then, like sold a bunch for the show after that. You know what I mean? Like I'll rest on that for the rest of my fucking life.
Right, that's good enough for me.
Sold out a show in fucking Los Angeles when nobody said you could do it. I'm resting on that. Those are great laurels to rest on. I feel like I could get a good sleep on those laurels.
Right.
Rogues ignore the accepted patterns and blaze their own trails, which I don't even know what that could mean. Well, that's just...
I do blaze a lot. If that, like, it's probably like a
They're
weed
not talking
thing.
about weed. No.
Yeah.
They're just saying, I don't know what it is. Especially, you don't want somebody in, I guess... That's a disruptor thing, maybe, for IT, right? Blaze your own trail sort of thing.
Yeah.
Rogues have raw talent and focus on that talent.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Just raw talent, man. Just oozing it. Just like, you shouldn't even be an IT manager. Why are you doing this, man? You just got so much raw talent. You can do anything you want. Just apply yourself.
Yeah, all that raw talent, you just focus on that and you're going to be something. Rogues are honest with themselves and others. Now, the other questions of whether you're a rogue makes it very hard for me to imagine that they're honest with themselves.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like somebody who thinks this highly of themselves is probably not super honest with themselves.
For sure. Yeah.
Rogues are rebels.
Okay.
You are a rebel.
I am.
I think so, yeah. Rogues have one foot in reality to let them get the job done, but they are nonetheless led by their dreams.
Okay.
Bullshit.
That
Such a
sounds
bullshit
like
thing you'd read in a fantasy book or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it sounds like an engraving on like a gold bracelet.
Yeah, fucking, it's a lighter you buy at Things Remembered.
Yeah.
In the fall.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't. Yeah. I might be that. I
mean, we're pretty led by our dreams. There's all
That's
this
true.
stuff
I
we
live
want
by
to
my
do,
dream.
and we try to get it
you
done.
know what? I don't have dreams at all. Like,
That's true.
weed killed all my dreams for like at least the last 10 years.
That might be true.
Only time I had dreams is when I moved from the new cities. I had like 3 days in my life where I didn't smoke weed, and I had the worst nightmares in the world.
Yeah, those are bad dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I prefer not to have dreams because they just keep you up all night, and it's like I'm trying to sleep. I don't want to be fucking bothered.
I feel
all
like
night
I'm
long.
working.
I don't want to be told a fucking story or some weird fucking tale. Like, leave me alone.
Floating,
Brain, like,
swimming in a fucking
go the fuck to
Coca-Cola.
bed, man. Just stop bothering me. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to relive. I'm not trying to be like in a action movie right now.
If I want to see a movie, I'll fucking watch it on
Yeah,
TV.
yeah. I'll just do it when I'm awake.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm trying to recharge. Jeez.
This is weird right here, Brett. We do not plan, budget, forecast, or waste time on getting bigger. We really only wish to get better. You'll be interviewed by a decision maker. Ties are not recommended for the interview, nor slacks or jackets, all of which are banned by our dress code.
Oh, that sucks.
Or would be if we had one. Just a guitar. They should have a fucking a guitar thing to click on at the end of that where it's like...
You just click on a little...
This is a hell
soundbite.
job. This is a hell
Yeah, this
job.
sounds crazy. 'Cause this sounds like somebody's going to be like, hey, man, we're all cool around here. What's wrong with you? What's the problem? You know?
You want to hear the list of banned words? They got a list of banned words. Let's see if some of the words we might think are banned. Okay? Are banned. Okay, here we go. Great.
It's
excited.
Banned? That's banned?
Yeah. Now, you watch your language. If you say great, excited, end of day, execute, throw down, great question. May I say something? May I ask a question? Devil's advocate, which by the way just means like bringing up a criticism. It's not like a real devil's advocate thing. It's really just like, oh man, this guy's trying to do the devil's advocate about whether we should pay him for his fucking overtime or something.
Well, it's just, this guy is totally unfair. He thinks that we're, as a business, we should be budgeting for IT management. It's like, what the fuck? We're trying to make money on the food and take it home. We don't want to have to pay somebody to manage all this.
On one hand, in the long term, depends, synergy, build brand awareness, dude, which is like, fuck you, man. I love the word dude.
Yeah,
I
dude's
say
a great
dude
one.
a lot.
Can you do like dude-areno or dudette instead?
Nope, no dude, no variations.
No
Oh my god. They don't like the word.
I would
my
get
God.
fired. I say that all the time.
Me too.
All the time.
I say it for reasons that like are just like benign. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I gotta fucking go to the bathroom.
Yep. Everything.
Anything that's like even close to a pain in the ass is an oh my god for
I know.
me.
Yeah, God puts us through a lot. I call out to him quite a bit for that shit.
Spaced it. You're not allowed to space things.
That's totally, but that's like a perfect way to say it, Like It's a specific. There's no other way to say it. Like,
I forgot.
It's not forgetting.
What's spacing it? What's the difference between forgetting and spacing it?
Forgetting is when like you were supposed to remember it, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Spaced is when it just disappears from your mind.
Yeah, where you're like, fuck.
You're like, what the fuck? I was gonna remember that, and then it just was gone now. You know.
You're not allowed to say 24/7, even though that sounds like
What?
the amount of time you're going to work. They probably don't want you talking about how
I
many
was
hours
gonna say, I
you
feel
work.
like I've been working 24/7. Like, no, you're on salary.
Close the loop.
What is this?
I
What
know.
are they doing here?
I don't know.
What is these rules?
It's a one ad.
You better like Dr. Dre. You better fucking hate Eurythmics. You better like what is this? what is the deal here? What do you want from me? God damn it!
I know
they're so needy.
I know. There's just what kind of person are you? Like, what are you trying to get here? What are you getting at?
You live here. Ew. We need a disruptor. Why are you living here?
Okay, so we were at Close the Loop working on Ball in My Court.
You can't say ball. So they're against the lingo. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah,
we're not putting up with that corporate BS lingo.
But none of that is the super, like, I think of things like I'm going to blue sky it as like a corporate lingo. Like, well, blue sky that, or let's get out of the
Blue
box
sky?
and shit like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
shit like that. Oh,
What can
know,
we scale it?
We got this wish bucket and this other bucket, and we want to put it in this bucket. Like, that's corporate speak. Like, saying the ball's in your court, I don't think that, like, really, I don't think that's horrible, you know? It's like, oh, I need, like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me to
Sounds
say
like a bunch
something
of
like that.
corporate mumbo jumbo from guys that don't drink beer.
If this was if this one ad was a person, it would definitely have a leather jacket on.
Oh yeah,
With the collar up and a fucking, like, one of those motorcycle hats, the
Yeah.
leather motorcycle hats. On my radar, proactive, deer, DEAR.
you can't call someone a deer.
No, you can't actually.
Yeah, I guess that's in most workplaces. You can't say
That's not bad.
Will you do that for me, dear? I like being called dear.
I don't mind it
Can
either.
Can I ask to be called dear?
Maybe they should clarify. A woman is allowed to call, like,
Yes.
a male identifying person dear.
If
But
you-
I can see where a woman wouldn't like it, but I like it.
If you're going to make a whole bunch of sweets at your house and then bring them to me and like use me as a proxy for your son, you can call me dear.
God, you're fucking such a mean. I know exactly the kind of person you're talking about.
No,
and I've worked with a lot
it
of
works.
them.
No, I'm good. I give
too.
it back. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I'll
they
be your
get-
son.
They get all of it. Yeah,
I remember I worked with this woman at Kroger when I was 17, and right before I turned 18, I was like, my life's about to end, man. I'm turning 18. She was like, honey, your life is the best when you're in your 20s. You're just getting started. You can do anything you want. And the way she said it was so nice to me. She like changed my whole mind. Because, like, I thought once you became an adult, it's like, fuck it. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I'm such a piece of garbage that I thought once you became an adult, like, the only thing I thought about was, like, they can put you in real jail.
Oh yeah.
The first thing I thought
I
of.
can't fucking just steal anymore. We'll go to real jail if I do.
We're not behind all the words yet. Reach out. I don't know. I mean,
You
I
can't
guess.
say reach out.
Well, I mean, I guess they want you to say I'm gonna call that
Hi,
person.
Kevin. I'm reaching out to you because the ball's in your court.
Same page.
I'd like to get on the same page.
I like being on the same page. When me and you are on the same page, this thing fucking just rolls.
I love
you
being
know?
on the same page.
Yeah, it's the best times. When
Who
we're not on
doesn't
the same
use
page,
that
it's horrible.
idiom?
I don't. People at Rogues. No,
People at
I'm gonna
Rogue.
tell you that right now.
Is it only pirate speak? Is that what they're getting at?
Probably.
Pretty much what we're saying is that if it doesn't sound like R or there she blows, we're not fucking interested.
If you don't talk about unicorn poop,
Right?
I don't know what you're fucking doing, man.
Yeah.
You know, we're over here. We're talking about exploding kittens. We're talking about unicorn poop. We're talking about the zombie apocalypse. We're talking about freaking bacon. That's
Right.
what's going on. That's what rogues talk about. Arg, be a pirate. You know, like,
we dress up for Pirate Day. We take it very seriously in the Rogue Nation.
so same page. Brainstorming.
That's
That's a thing.
Been around forever. And we all brainstorm.
It's a thing.
Please stop making this harder.
I know. If you can't say brainstorming, then how do you call that act?
Let's have like a thinking session.
It sounds like it's just an anti-creative place where it's like, you can't say brainstorming. What kind of connotation does that have?
Come
like
on,
thinking
man.
of things?
Think about it. Come up with something, man.
In progress, so I guess everything just has to be done.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me because I'm always
progress.
I'm always big time on being like, this is done even if it's not done. Like just being like, fuck it, it's done, I guess. I don't fucking know.
In progress.
Yeah, no in progress.
It's not in progress.
You're not allowed to say I ain't done yet. I'm not done yet.
Ain't done yet.
I ain't done yet.
And so
It's
that's
probably
what
on the list,
replaces
though.
it.
It's probably on a list though.
Ain't done yet. Ain't better not be on there.
Ain't isn't there. Behind the 8 ball and others. There's others.
Behind the 8 ball can go. I don't.
I'm not a behind the 8 ball guy. But I don't like being behind the 8 ball. If there's a
I like being behind the 8 ball of cocaine.
That's cool. Sitting at the table with the cocaine, like right
staring
in front
down
of
the
you.
line.
Yeah, that's cool. One more sentence. Don't be offended if you don't get a form letter in response to your application. If we received it, it'll be read and given considerations. We have no HR department, so may not have answers you think we should have as a business. That's because we're not. We're a revolution.
This is a revolution.
I've never hated.
Welcome to the revolution.
It doesn't pay well. There's a zillion words you're not allowed to say, but none of them are like racial slurs or anything like that.
Yeah, welcome to the revolution. It doesn't pay very well, but we did ban the word in progress, so we've made a lot of progress, you know?
Yeah. And them saying,
I just said
I think
progress.
like it's funny because you think like, well, they said they don't have an HR department, and me and Brett rag on HR departments, but what that really means is you're probably screamed at by like a number of mean people, you know? There's not somebody with the skills to talk to employees there at all, you know?
Yeah, you're just in limbo. This sounds like this is you. They want somebody to follow them around like a goddamn puppy, you know, and just follow orders. This is one of those people that's like, I expect you to be, you know, I expect to just you follow orders. Sorry.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said we're better off with a union. I'm totally with that,
sure.
you know. But like, if you don't have a union and you don't have HR, I've worked at jobs like that where you just get screamed at by the owner of the fucking business. You know, it's like, it's the fucking word. What a dumb company. What a horrible.
Yeah,
Road
I'm
sounds
definitely
like the worst.
out of it. Yeah,
they're an InBev corporation anyway. Now
Oh.
somebody in the chat just said they're an InBev corporation, but
so that's weird that they don't require the same brewing standards or labor standards
because they can get away with it. It's not like I know what you're saying. Like, oh, it's weird that they don't require the same labor standards. But if InBev could get away with not paying their employees a living wage, and if they could get away with all this stuff, they would totally do that. So under the name Rogue, they can get away with that kind of shit. So they're perfectly fine fucking doing it. You know?
Remember I came close to the dream. So the Anheuser-Busch, back when I tried, they hired out of the Job and Family Services office. And the one I went to
That's actually good, by the way.
Oh, it is, I know.
Not bad at all, because a lot of that's great.
So
it's going to people who need it.
Right.
It's like going to lift people out of poverty.
For sure.
Straight up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's giving opportunities. But it was so fucking busy when I went that I just turned around and was like, I'll find a job somewhere else, I think.
You went there and like did an interview?
I went to Budweiser and they were like, you have to go to Job and Family Services. So
you were like, I ain't waiting in this line.
I went in there and it was like just packed.
I'll work with these frat bros getting iced every day.
This was not even, I wasn't even close to that.
I knew a guy that worked there. I knew a guy that worked at Anheuser-Busch, loved it, was paid. Like, this guy was driving a nice car, he lived in the same apartment complex as me, but his apartment didn't look like shit and had furniture in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I think we got time for one more thing here.
What you got?
This is a work story. It was I don't know. I don't remember where I got this from. I just saw it. This is written by Benjamin Romano. It's a Seattle Times business reporter. And I'm just going to go ahead and read this. An employee in an Amazon call center in Kentucky asked managers for flexibility in the company's break schedule to accommodate bathroom needs stemming from his Crohn's disease, a painful, chronic, and unpredictable inflammatory bowel condition.
Yeah.
But instead, a supervisor accused him of stealing time and he was fired. He alleges in a lawsuit against the company charging discrimination under the Americans with Disabilities Act and Kentucky law. What is with this company and people going to the fucking bathroom?
They don't like that.
They hate it.
It's like Rogue and IT. Like, they just are like, do we really have to fucking let them use the restroom? Do they have to?
Jeff Bezos is just sitting in an office like, can we fucking constipate them?
They are not all wearing catheters like me. Is that what you're saying? We don't have people, we're not providing catheters to our call center people?
He's gonna fucking make the call center toilet seats. They're gonna sit on toilets all day so they can just do it while they work.
Jeff Bezos has a tube that goes out the end of his wiener and goes directly into his own butt. He pees in his own butt and just stores it in there
until the end of the day when he empties out his butt. Is that what you're saying?
It's just a storage container for
Yummo.
the pee. Yeah.
Jesus, that's gross, man. I'm glad I don't use the bathroom. Jeff Bezos is like me. Yeah. That's who he is. He's like me. He's like, I've never used the bathroom in my life. Just saying it so that people don't think that you've ever smelled bad or anything.
Right.
The case again raises
questions.
He's
an alien. He's sewed up.
Yeah. He is a... All that poop goes into his muscles. That like all those ripples in his body aren't muscle, they're dookie.
Shit muscles.
Right? Yeah, just doo-doo muscles. He's so strong from holding in his
Play-Doh.
shits. He's extra strong from holding in his shits. That's sick though, man. That's such an before we get into this, like it's such an this is embarrassing for the company. It has to be embarrassing.
Oh no, for them?
I mean, I know it's not.
No, they think it's like a bunch of it's just a tough environment, you know?
Yeah.
It's really, you got to be the best of the best. I mean, you can't have, any medical problems.
I mean, the crazy fucking thing is your call center aren't like your high paid employees or anything. And the call center,
I don't think. I've worked at call centers, and the more time you're off the phone, it's not like a good thing.
No,
he's not. It's not making his job any easier. He probably has to do either extra time or work doubly hard to get numbers.
I mean, having Crohn's disease hurts and it sucks too.
Oh yeah,
it's very bad. I've had not Crohn's, but the other thing, colitis, which I think is part of that, and it that shit is not good, man. I've had attacks and it's very painful. I had me laying in the bathroom thinking I was gonna die at times. Obviously, I've never used the bathroom, but that's just something I was relayed by somebody else that's had diarrhea problems. Mm-hmm. The case again raises questions about Amazon's bathroom policies, which were highlighted in a book by a British author last year that described warehouse workers taking extreme measures to relieve themselves so as not to let their productivity slip. Measures disputed by the company. We do not monitor toilet breaks. I don't know, though. That sounds like you do.
In a roundabout way, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, they don't say we're going to pay attention to how long you're in the bathroom. Yeah, but they have to be paying attention to the amount of times people go to the bathroom. Otherwise, how did this guy get fired?
They're printing out a report and going, this is interesting. We pay you for 60 minutes of work, and I see you were only on the floor for 52 minutes.
Yeah.
From 2 to 3. What were we doing for 8 minutes? It's like taking a shit.
What a fucking horrendous job that it's just the environment there where people are afraid to use the bathroom.
That's intense.
That people get fired for using the bathroom. And again, in the call center where they're probably making minimum wage or $1 more, So, We do not monitor toilet breaks, the Seattle commerce and technology giant said as a part of a lengthy statement in response last April. The ADA complaint filed last week in U.S. District Court in Lexington, Kentucky, spells out a strict and limited break schedule at an Amazon customer service center in the suburb of Winchester that employs some 900 people. Okay. Employee Nicholas Stover needed to use the bathroom more frequently than the schedule allowed as a result of his disease. He asked for a flexible schedule or to be moved closer to the bathroom, but he was denied those accommodations, he alleges in the suit. I can also see him doing that.
Yeah.
I've just worked in so many offices that, like, a guy asking, can you move my desk? The person that's managing them thinks they're trying to get over on him. Because, this is something that, like, I don't think we bring up enough, or is that, like, a lot of times in these jobs, the immediate supervisor, like, always thinks you're trying to pull one over on him. And like, how many times have you, like, heard somebody call in sick and they say, that motherfucker ain't sick?
Yeah,
He's always sick.
They always get petty grievances, and this is, like, the perfect reason to have one of these shithead managers be like, oh, so I guess now they can tell me where they're sitting. Yes. I do the seat chart.
Yes, exactly. Amazon declined to comment on the pending litigation and had yet to file a response with the court as of Thursday. Bart Greenwald, an attorney representing Stover you got an attorney named Bart? With the law firm.
That's tough.
I mean, I would hire a Bart.
Yeah.
Would you hire a Bart for your attorney?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would, like, hire a Bart for almost any job.
For sure.
Like, if it's a tough guy, like my security, I would love my security to be named Bart. Jason, can you change your name to Bart for us?
Bart, Brent, and Brian.
Yeah.
That would be a great addition.
If you're a person...
If there's some Barts out there, you got the best chance out of anybody.
You know, sometimes we think we could use a third mic, and Bart? Yeah, we're looking into it. All right.
Especially if you've got a thick head of black hair and a mustache.
And you wear black denim?
Yes.
I want you to wear black jeans.
Yep.
At least. And a shirt, like... Not a tap out, but one of those shirts that are, like, real loud with all the designs and the flames and a motorcycle on them.
Sure, some Christian Oettinger shit.
Yeah, yes. And a hat with a corporation on it.
Yes.
But not a cool corporation.
Okay.
Like just something, like, from a warehouse in town or something. So we'll hire a Bart. If you're a very specific Bart. You also have to be 49 years old because we're not getting any younger people in this thing.
Okay. Yeah, okay. You want to be... you don't want to feel bad.
Tired of being the oldest guy.
Yeah, okay. Old man Bart.
Well, Jason's the oldest guy in the org now, so that's nice. I'm like a youngster. I'm like a spry little...
Right.
Ooh, this
scrappy.
Crazy, yeah. Oh, look at this youngster sitting behind the mic, you know? Employee Nicholas, so disability law experts who reviewed the complaint saw Stover's accommodation request as reasonable, yes, and unlikely to cause an undue burden on the company. The standard spelled out in the ADA, which was amended in 2008 to include symptoms of diseases such as Crohn's, when they substantially limit a major life activity. I also just want to say that, like, it just took them till 2008 to get Crohn's disease in that ADA thing. Like, it's just...
That's fucking awful.
This world is just fucking terrible, man. Just terrible. Like, we don't protect anybody. I mean, we just don't protect people at all.
Well, I mean, it's all it's all the way that, I don't know, the way our dumb culture works is people think that if you just get rid of it and make it go away, then it doesn't exist, and that doesn't happen to people, you know? Yeah, we can just get them out of here.
Yeah, we'll just fire them.
Instead of accommodating, instead of having an understanding that someone has different needs as an employee, you know?
Right, because somebody that has different needs as an employee is, like, just a problem to them. They want everybody to be, like, the most low-impact humans they can possibly have.
Someone that can just fit into their spreadsheet. Their, like, flow chart of people. And like I said, their seating chart.
A number, really. Yeah. I've always said this. I always wanted to be a number at work. And I was. My last two major jobs, my last two career jobs, I was just a number. At the call center, I cannot remember the number I was at the call center, but at the cable company, I was 9709.
Cool.
And it made me feel so fucking good to just be 9709 because it just never felt like anybody was fucking watching.
Uh-huh.
And, like, as long as 9709 didn't have any red metrics, then nobody talk to me ever about anything.
Right.
But if there's some reason that 9709 couldn't do then he becomes Brian. Oh, that fucking guy, man. He's got to go to the fucking bathroom more. He's complaining. And just, as you said, there's a lot of petty middle management that, like, the people on top are horrible, but there's a lot of people who think that you're always lying, that everybody's lying. Well, yeah. And there's never a good reason to call off work. I have, every job I've worked, I have felt that when you had to call off work, you were accused of fucking around. And I know, Jason...
You have a little bit of a disfigure. You can't really, like... You think
I
that
just
everybody
like
is
that,
after
though.
you.
I always felt... I mean, you never heard people say, like, this person calls off?
I wouldn't say never heard, but I wouldn't say every single time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like exaggerating with every single time, but I always just felt like every time I heard somebody called off, there was like always like a little hint of like, this is bullshit. Jason hurt both of his fucking ankles and tried to call off, and the guy was like, you're fired. No, that's not exactly what happened, but like he said, that's no excuse not to come in. And it's like, God damn, dude, I can't come in. I'm giving my body to this fucking job, you know?
For sure.
I fucking hate Amazon, you know? I just really hate them. He disclosed his disease to Amazon when he applied for a job and during training at the company's customer service call center in Winchester, which, I mean, this is me editorializing, they ignored. They didn't care. They had a warm body. They had a guy in there that was qualified to do the work. Right. And it didn't bother them that he had Crohn's, you know? So, there we go, man. Amazon, okay, here we go. Here's their process, okay? A typical call center employee worked a 9-hour shift. Stover was on from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m., taking calls from customers and resolving typical e-commerce issues such as providing product information, handling returns and refunds, and tracking down packages. God, what a hell job that is. I mean, oh my God.
You're dealing with general public.
You get screamed at. Like,
you're dealing with people that expect a website to be full-blown, like, butler service.
I know.
Like, you're Amazon. What's the damn excuse?
So the standard shift included 3 breaks, an hour for meals, and 2 15-minute breaks. That's pretty standard.
Probably they won't count your walking to and from the break room as part of your...
No,
they won't give you the time for that.
That's part of the break. That's part of the break. Your walk out of the building or to the bathroom.
Right.
You know, and if you're having, like, Crohn's, you might be in the bathroom longer than 15 minutes. It's very painful.
Sure.
It really hurts. I don't know exactly what Crohn's is, but like I said, I've had like I think it's called acute colitis, which is basically the stuff. Like it's Crohn's, but only once, you know?
Right.
Or twice or 3 times. It's just, I don't have Crohn's. I sometimes, and it's painful. I like lay on the bathroom floor with like cold towels on my head. Like I'll get a towel really wet with cold water and lay on the floor and put the towel on my fucking head and just like roll around on the floor and throw up and shit. It's like it's not a bullshit thing that this guy had. It's not some like
it's just I don't think there was that. It was that they just weren't going to accommodate it.
Right. Yeah. The standard shift, so that you get an hour and then 2 15-minute breaks scheduled by Amazon and unalterable by employees, according to the complaint.
The breaks are scheduled?
Yeah, you go when they tell you. You don't go when you want to, which is bullshit.
They tried that.
Yeah.
They almost lied. Man, I did it one time at a job, and everybody went fucking nuts on them.
Yeah, because people are different. Everybody's different.
We have people taking all their breaks all at once and stuff like this. And it's like, yeah, we fucking can.
That'd be fine. Yeah,
it'll be okay.
I used to, when I worked at the call center, I worked 10-hour days, and I came in at 7, and I took my lunch at like 1 p.m., and then I took my 2 breaks after my lunch because the end of the day was
hard to make it through,
miserable for me, you know. And then like I could go to but you were allowed to get up and go to the bathroom.
Sure, yeah. Surprisingly, most of my jobs you were allowed to use the restroom. We really never got really that controlled.
You weren't working with Jeff Bezos though, who is very anti-bath. I want to yell at him for this bathroom shit so bad, like to his fucking face, you know. So, because of his disease, Stover needed to use the bathroom more frequently than the company's policies allowed, and he was continually reprimanded according to the complaint. But he was also given a raise and promoted to a team called Search and Rescue that handles difficult customer service problems. So, obviously, also very good at his job. But getting reprimanded because of a thing that's beyond his control.
Right.
You know? 6 months into his employment with Amazon, Stover, with the support of a physician, requested an accommodation. His doctor, completing an Amazon accommodation request form, wrote that Stover must have a bathroom facility readily available. Amazon did not offer to move his workstation closer to the bathroom, a 1 to 2 minute walk away, nor did it offer options for unscheduled or emergency bathroom breaks or any other changes in work structure to accommodate his disability, according to the complaint. So he came in, he did their shit, he filled out their forms, and then they were just like, we can't accommodate you. Like you said, it was somebody saying, I make the seating chart here.
Right.
I am the lord of the seating chart.
Right. You're on our team. So, and our team works over here. So, it doesn't seem like you want to be a team player, you know? Can't you just walk?
Bev is just giving you a good talking to. That
Dressed
real
down.
nice kind.
Yeah. Like, get it together. Tighten up that sphincter or get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. It says even here, fewer and fewer companies have that kind of issue, Hill added. Companies are much more flexible about when you go to the bathroom, get a cup of coffee, drink a glass of water, as long as it doesn't interfere with the actual number of hours worked and completed.
Yeah, I mean, come on, people. We're fucking adults here, right? We all know that we go poo-poo caca, right?
Right.
We go pee-pee.
Well, and you know, the thing that, the reason I, like, wanted to read this is just that, like, this company is where most of us are supposed to be working at this point. Like Amazon, they aren't headquartered here or anything,
right?
But the impact they have, even here in Columbus, is enormous. You see them all day, everywhere. You see their trucks. You see guys working with their regular ass old car. When we drive out of town to go to live shows, we drive by their big warehouse. I mean, it's just so many people are working for this company, and it's terrible that it's this company. Like, this company is like so horrible with like bathroom breaks and accommodations and shit like that. It's sad, man. Fuck you, Amazon. All right, Brett.
Is that the show?
Do you want to get mad at Bill Maher for 2 seconds?
What did Bill Maher do?
I mean, he said this like a couple weeks ago, but I'll read the headline for you. Bill Maher mocks red state voters, said rich and educated live in blue states. He said, maybe that has something to do with why Trump... Oh, here it is. He said that they have Wolfgang Puck and we have Chef Boyardee. And that's what he said. And it's like, okay.
I mentioned that...
You're worth $130 billion. Take one for the
What'd
team.
you mention?
Stop
Is that playing audio?
It is playing.
Oh, well, hell. Let's do it.
Come back to life.
Jeff Bezos? Come on. He's getting off. Let's hear it, guys.
Now, I know this sounds like a pipe dream, and it's true. I was smoking a pipe when I did it.
You do weed.
But if liberals are serious about winning elections, they have to start recolonizing the country they've abandoned. Mississippi is the poorest state in the country. Amazon could buy the whole state and rename it Amazippy.
This guy gets paid to do this.
He does.
This is like something he gets paid to do. Like a lot of money.
If we keep leaving the red states behind, they're going to keep getting angrier and crazier. Because if you're not invited to the party, the next best thing is to throw a turd in the punch bowl.
That's not like a saying, Bill Maher, but okay. Yeah, so...
Is that what we do here?
I mean, that's what he's saying we do. We throw a turd in the punch bowl, folks. I like doing that, though. I like ruining, like, New Yorker time. Like, it's like, oh, New York. You know, you saw an article about New York socialists this week. Like, it was like 15. It's like, why is socialism on the rise? And it was like this person's 15 friends from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It was just like, I like ruining their time. Like, there's something about, like, we're not, like, here's the thing. People that are voting for Trump aren't voting for Trump to, like, ruin their time. But they are voting for Trump because they hate you.
Yeah.
Because you're hateable.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand how hateable you are from the outside.
We have Wolfgang Puck pizza at the fucking mall, dude.
Wolfgang Puck is just, that was such a weird thing.
Frozen food.
Yeah.
Aisle.
I mean, I did the other day, was walking by Saks Fifth Avenue, right? Like, because I went to the mall. I sometimes will go to the mall and walk with my daughter. We like to go in Saks Fifth Avenue and look at the prices on stuff because, you know, it's very like $750 to $1,000 shoes.
Right.
You know, and there was a guy sitting just outside, and it was just such as like a stark picture to me. There was a guy sitting on a chair directly outside of Saks Fifth Avenue eating Chef Boyardee ravioli out of the can with a fork and a yogurt for lunch. And it was just like, yeah. That is why we're pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is. That's the problem.
You were sort of right in that way of like eating like that like this is the life we have to live while we sell $750 shoes. That fucking sucks, you know.
Right,
it's
right.
bullshit. So
yeah, and we would love to have fancy ass expensive food, you know.
I love expensive food. It's
Sure,
one of my top
if I can
favorite
afford
things.
it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like it if I can afford it, really, but
Of course.
I get what you're saying. All right, we're done, man.
Yeah, thanks for listening to Street Fight Radio. That's the show. You can get more of what we do over on Patreon. Support the show, please. Help us out. We are building, bigger and better things here. Trying to get everybody involved. I've been spreading the work around. So Jake has been cutting out video stuff and doing more editing. Katie is taking care of the booking. So this all takes a lot of money. We're doing the zines. We're paying the artists. We're paying the writers, all that stuff. It costs a lot of money to do this shit. So we need your support, and we will pay you handsomely with content because we have lots of video every single week. For our $5 a month video subscription level people, you get a video every single week, which is, most recently was our LA Live show, but it also includes the TV shows like Undercover Business Tyrants and Shark Tank that we do each week. You can also get access to our zine, exclusive writing and art from Brian and I, and a bunch of other cool people. Then we have our bonus shows that we do. So head over to patreon.com/streetfightradio to get into that. And then follow us on social media. I do some live streams on Instagram at StreetFightWCRS. And you can always watch the show and chat along with the people on Twitch, Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you on Sunday taking your calls. Peace.